Welcome back to Broadscope Gaming. I'm Tango McChacha, and I'm currently playing Streets of Rogue. So there's a lot to go over, but this is still in alpha, basically. So, yeah, it's an early access game on Steam, but I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and I decided I wanted to share some of it with you. So here we are at the character select. There's a lot to go over, but this is kind of the meat and bones of it, but I will explain things as we go on. So, these are the characters. They each have unique traits. I'm not going to be using the Slum Dweller yet. Basically, he's the pinnacle of starts out slow but gets really good later. But I'm just going to go over everyone real quick so you can see all their archetypes. So, with the Slum Dweller. Okay. With the Slum Dweller, I'll go ahead and go over the basics. Stats are your numbers. Endurance is your HP. Strength is how much damage you do with melee weapons. Accuracy is how much stray there is when you're firing a gun. And speed is how fast you move. So technically all three of these are unique to the Slum Dweller. But Studious is a normal trait that other people can get, so this is only semi-unique. Basically, he gets more XP, he gets more skills to choose from when he gets a level, and he gets a random stat every 2 levels. So, put simply, he's not that good simply because there isn't enough levels to go through to let him be good, if that makes sense. You need a lot of actual floors or levels to go through to get enough experience levels to reach his peak strength. So I'm not going to do him yet, but I do love these kind of archetype in roguelikes and roguelites, like and light, just to make sure it's clear. Starts out a bit risky, but then gets really good later on. Because usually that means you got to later on. So real quick, Soldier, good stats, a lot of damaging starting items, but his only trait is the ability to heal up to 20 HP, which isn't ever enough to justify risky behavior. The Gangsters, the Bloods, and the Crepes are both the exact same thing, but basically Turf Warrior, the Turf Warrior trait, has it that if anyone of the opposing gang that is spawned in the game world sees the gangster player character, they will immediately become hostile. Thief is the first one we see with a special ability. He's very weak but very fast, and a special ability is a unique button press, in the case of mouse and keyboard, right click, that allows him to do a special ability. In this case, if he's behind someone, he will do what is basically a melee attack, and if he hits them from behind, they won't notice and he will get a random item from their inventory. Mostly it's just money because that's all they're carrying. His traits are Slippery Target, which means he can move around. Anybody shooting him will always have more bullet stray than other characters. And Suspicious means anytime you enter a shop, you'll immediately be asked to leave and basically annoy someone. And anyone who's annoyed and you're in their presence for more than 5 seconds will turn hostile and thus start trying to kill you. Shopkeeper is kind of unique. Basically, they're centered around buying things. Their trait, their stats are basically that they're only good with guns, which is to reflect in-game shopkeepers, which always have a shotgun. Art of the Deal is a unique one that allows them to open up a store inventory with anybody, not just normal shopkeepers. And Shrewd Negotiator is not unique. It lets you get cheaper items. And then they're basically stocked like a normal shopkeeper, but with a kill Profiter, which gives you money per kill, and Mini Fridge. Gangster again, Bartender, decent stats all around, but nothing special. Serve drinks, I believe, will make people affable to you. This makes a lot of people immediately affable too. There's like allies and loyal, and allies will let you get away with more stuff before they get mad, and loyal will let you get away with a lot. Team building, 3 people, and then drug log is a weird kind of unique. There are random syringes, which are kind of like the Binding of Isaac's random pills, and this will let you know what they do. And he started to basically make friends and serve drinks. This is the hacker. He's kind of unique. He's very weak, kind of like a thief, but with slightly less speed. But his special ability is the ability to infinitely use remote hacks, which is normally a consumable item. Does things with computers that others can't. It's not quite unique, but it is rare. And certain computers will have the ability to do certain things that only a tech expert can access. Skinny Nerdlinger is basically a debuff trait, and it means that when you get into a melee fight, you will get thrown around more than usual. Doctor is kinda lame. However, their special ability is a one-hit kill to anybody you can get behind. And unless they are allies, then nobody will care that you're one-hit killing people with a chloroform rag. However, they cannot equip any conventional weapons. And they also have a slightly arbitrary medical items, which there is only one in the game, I believe, yield better results. Scientist is pretty lame, even slightly more lame than the Doctor. Isn't restricted though. Is the only other person currently with Tech Expert other than the hacker. Can identify the random syringes. Gorillas hate him. Any gorilla that sees you will immediately hate you. Same for the opposite, you'll see in a second. And they're also skinny nerdlingers. But they start out with a bunch of unique items. And that's kind of their claim to fame. They're kind of like a reverse slum dweller in that they start out stronger, but they don't really get much as things go on. However, you can refill the ammo on his starting weapons, and they do have unique effects at least, so he never truly runs out of use. Gorilla is good in everything except accuracy, but one of his traits means he can't use guns, so he's basically maxed out. He has a special ability, Primal Lunge, just lets him charge up an attack and deal more damage than usual. Cannot interact with anyone without a special item. This is basically a special suspicious on the thief. That in addition to not being able to use human-run businesses, you also cannot get people to join you. As I said, I don't find that much of a penalty. There are other gorillas in the game. That's how you unlock them in the first place. Yeah. Can't use guns. Can recruit 3 other gorillas, and gorillas will follow you, unlike certain other people like the gangsters. They will follow you from level to level. So, I think that's what that's supposed to be. Tank-like. Once again, the scientist hates gorillas, and gorillas hate the scientist. Basically, the scientists believe gorillas are stupid and shouldn't be trying to act intelligent. Gorillas hate being treated like they're stupid and shouldn't try to act intelligent. And they have a kind of weird, unique banana lever, which gives you time 2 health. They can use normal weapons, but basically the implication is they're supposed to rely on their fist. They can pick up a melee weapon and go ham with it. Cop is unique in that they have okay starting stats. Their special is like the Doctor's. I think you still have to get up behind someone to neutralize them, but you lose EXP for attacking anyone who, for attacking or robbing from anyone who is not provoked. Basically just random people wandering around the game world. Weird as that sounds for a roguelike. Vampires are unique. They're a little lame, but still pretty good. Anyone they get behind, they can bite for continuous damage and getting health back at a 3 damage to 1 health ratio. But they can only drink blood. They cannot eat any food, which is, i.e. the banana, to restore their health. They have to get a victim. And they're uniquely invisible to security cameras. Wrestler is kind of like the gorilla, only lacking speed, and another important thing, their special ability is to pick up random items in the scenery and throw them, but they are semi-unique. One other person shares it in that they cannot use computers regularly, but they're tank-like, and wherever they move, people will notice them, so they cannot sneak around. The assassin is weak but fast, and basically specializes in one-hit kill. Right-click, if no one's looking, will make them invisible so people can't find them. And then, if you use the backstab, which is getting a melee attack from the back position, which, like the doctors and vampires, you need to get into proper position to do so. Will deal increased damage 10 times if you're camouflaged, and the camouflage will not break if you successfully use the backstab 10 times damage backstabber. And then hitting people sleeping kills them immediately, but that's I haven't found a single use for that yet. There are people who sleep, but I haven't really had a reason to use it on them. Comedian is unique. He can tell a joke to a crowd of people, and it will either make them like him, which is the likely outcome, or immediately hate them. They're kind of sucky. And basically put, people can only be joked with once, so if you're playing multiplayer with 2 comedians, and both tell a joke, one person tells a joke to a group, and the other one comes in and tries again, they will still only be affected by the first joke. Basically, their playstyle is if things start to get hairy, then they run back to their crowd of friends who will defend them. Jock is the second guy. He's like the gorilla, but with more speed. His special is to charge up and then just ram, and this can destroy walls. His thing is he's computer illiterate, a sucker, and loud, so he's, basically, the wrestler has less debuffs but cannot destroy walls. He can destroy walls but has more debuffs. Shapeshifter is unique in that everyone hates him. Cops attack him on sight. But he can instead go up behind people and use his special ability to get their alliances and skills. So whoever he takes over, their friends will become his friends if they don't see him take them over. This banker is unique and kind of annoying. Mid-length stats all around. Basically, he's addicted to drugs, which I will go over the really weird definition. And he can borrow money. And so basically the point is he's supposed to be able to buy his way to victory, but he needs drugs or else he'll get effects. Werewolves are weak and people won't join him, but he can turn into a werewolf and deal massive damage. So, now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Hacker. Hacker is a bit of a unique choice. He does have different gameplay options than other people, but that's true of anyone with a special ability. So now, we get to see it. He gets infinite remote hacks, as I said. Hacking will cause people to become alert that something is being hacked and check generic areas. Basically, once you hack something, you get a certain amount of control over it. Computers are unique in that they have different things that they are linked to. Yes, I am digging through the trash. And in this case, it was linked to cages. There is an NPC hacker. So one of the things of being a hacker is you don't want someone to come out and spot you, otherwise they will get hostile, and even against another hacker, that is a bad thing. So instead, I'm gonna hack from behind here. You shouldn't be able to find me. Run! And this is my all-time favorite thing to do with a fridge. Yeah. Causing a fridge to run will cause it to run and break any breakable walls up to a certain point. And then it will hit a wall, smash open, and reveal its contents. And it is hilarious, as shown. So every mission, every level, you'll get a certain number of missions. And you have to complete them before you can leave. You may see exactly why I did that in a second. So in this case, they're always on the map. What you need to do. In this case, I need to get an item from the safe. Hackers are unique in that they can force something to unlock. Ooh, triple bacon burger. Yes. Food is just a healing item. Since I hacked this, it can only detect the person who owns it. And none the wiser, the shopkeeper just got robbed. It'll just task you with finding a random item. Yeah. Sorry, I got lost in thought. So yeah, I just kind of hacked the safe from the outside. Ah! Yeah, so remember Skinny Nerdlinger? Yeah. That is pretty much the exact thing that it does. Hey, got in the safe. Also, what you saw was releasing poison gas. You can certainly do more with that than just gas. Yeah. So these metal walls are invincible. But it happened to run straight, but the refrigerator, whose food I just picked up, happened to run through 2 doors which can be destroyed. Was that cold? Yes. Was it satisfying? Oh my yes. So these are traits, these are unique skills added to your character. They'll be listed down there. Anything directly related with the character is not. They just kind of come with the character. So Infectious Spirit, anybody following you gets more health. Butterfinger, attacking an enemy at the same time they attack you will basically cause a parry. This causes them a chance to drop the weapon they're holding if you parry them. Or Long Lunge, which causes you to move a higher distance when attacking. I'm going to take Long Lunge, because it's already hard enough to get into melee range. Pro tip, those are generally useful little facts. This game has a surprising amount of nuance. And this is a rogue mission. Accepting it is not required. But, you know, you can if you want. The reward is chicken nuggets, which are, as I called the macro game, currency. anyone will notice their property being hacked. So always try and find a place that is out of their view, as long as they have that little question mark. Unless it is done by an entity that is distinctly not you, then if they see you with if they see you after your handiwork, then they will immediately know it's you. Hey, look! So, one of the nice things about this game is you can cause a lot of infighting. You can sick NPCs on other NPCs. Oh, game, why do you hate me so? You see these cops here? I need to bribe them. Otherwise, when I murder these guys, which is how I need to free the slaves, they're gonna get mad. Instead, say hello to my little friend. Bit of wasted ammo. Oh hey, thanks for the sword. I found one just like it standing on the ground. Because that television doesn't quote-unquote belong to anyone, the house is unoccupied. I can blow it up without causing any trouble. Okay, scratch that last part, but, you know, still blow it up. Thanks for the safe house. So you can hack safes to unlock them, or as you saw, you can hack a fridge to force it to run. Now this is a little trick I call the confusion sprint. That was not meant to be taken literally. So yeah, I'm trying to chase them out, but because the drug I used was confused, they cannot get out now. Put simply, confusion will reverse your controls, and that's why they could not get out. There. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. Mostly because it's weak. But yes, one of the things you can do, also, real quick, you can teleport around! So yeah, one of the things you can do is you can throw any drug into an air purification system, and it will cause people to run outside. Cigarettes counts as a drug. So yes, a very simple strategy is to just get some cigarettes, throw them into the air purification, and you can get anyone outside of their business if they have an air purification. In the words of a wise philosopher, forget you. Really? Sorry, buddy. So yeah, pretty simple missions. Nothing much to say, they're pretty self-explanatory. There's no like deep in-game reason for this, you're just kinda doing favors for the Resistance before they'll let you move on. By the way, that's someone sleeping for the whole assassin's sleep kill thing. Yay, more random drugs. Trash cans are surprisingly helpful. Oh lordy, I think it's time to break out the item. So each character has a predetermined loadout. You probably already saw that. Hacker comes with TNT. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What on earth did I do to you? Jesus. Bye. Yeah, that is one thing with the game. Definitely not Walsworth Nightmare as a guy. Things can go crazy pretty fast, and while everything doesn't start out wanting to kill you, it can get that way really quick. This is a disaster. Why do you do this to me, game? So, in a disaster, every random wandering character will want your blood. The police often get called in to, Out of the way! Sorry, I always have to focus on combat as one of the weaker classes, just to make sure I have the right positioning. Wow! Oh. I need something in there, don't I? Well, that was a lucky pick. Although I think black is always a form of harmful. I don't think I've ever seen black be a helpful color. But yeah. And we're done here. As I do not feel like getting my face slammed in. Also, yep, angry property owners will eventually stop chasing you. So I'll say hello to the next part. Yes, he was there. So the slums didn't have any major gimmick. This place's major gimmicks is there are 2 rail cards. You can see them by the white lines on the map that run through. It's a shame I can't hack generators. Overclock generator will basically be a TNT style explosion. That one's more smooth than it usually does. If it were song style, it'd be jazz. Oh yeah. Grab the cops. While you have above the law, which is what you get for bribing the cops, they can still get mad at you. Only it'll be for, it'll be for directly attacking other cops. Ow. Come on, make some enemies. Oh, this works. By the blood of Odin! It just meant that kind of camera just makes a noise. Oh, too good, too good. Other types will be hooked up to machine guns, automated machine guns, which will fire upon seeing someone through the camera. But yeah, it's just a chaotic and kinda wacky game. Wasn't planning on robbing them, but that went so hilariously. Yep. So that's a gun mod. It's kind of a rare type of item that's a combinable. So any weapon I combine it with will immediately gain benefits in this case. Now if I shoot with the machine gun, nobody will notice me. Freaking minecarts. Also, as you can see, once they lose that little question mark above their head, they will no longer suspect you of crime and let you go about your day. So, alright. That was fun. I think I'm going to end it here, though. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed your little view into it. Sorry if it wasn't all that exciting. It's one of those that'll give you a few exciting moments per full playthrough rather than being all exciting all the time. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed, and cheers.